So we got a big triangle forming here on the euro dollar. I wonder if we'll break this thing out. We certainly got a lot of wicks to take out, and if this news tomorrow is nothing more than this FOMC is nothing more than well, I guess I use these words dovish and hawkish. I guess if it's like, how about a dove that's on heroin, right? Like a dove that's in a coma, and they're just going to print more money. You know, I guess it's a printing race to the bottom. Who prints more money? Which country can outprint the other country? But, you know, this trend line here is just getting crazy. And using this trend line here, and I'm going to copy that and scooch it back into the history of the pivots to see if this is a valid pivot point. So first I'm going to create this channel envelope here, and then I'm going to hang it off of this because this is probably going to be important. And this head and shoulders, this one here. Then I'm going to do the upside of that, which is this guy here. So we could come down still into this thing. And all this wicks, this is the daily, all this looks like accumulation to me. It looks like a big build-up for, I think, like I'm always love to see the market explode. And tonight, coming into Asia here, we could see kind of an early house cleaning of all the bears. And we could be hovering up at, you know, some crazy price coming into this FOMC. In other words, they could bid this thing through take out last month's high and just keep bidding this thing up. Because if you zoom out one level here, you know, once they blow this out, those bears are going to go running, and there's a double top back here. And once they shear that off, you know, definitely a slam into 117 would just be amazingly beautiful. But we've been building this triangle, and these triangles resolve in kind of a bloodbath in either direction, like this one back here. This is a classic. And look at that thing just spill into history. Going into like, I don't know, yearly lows. But see, we're back above the water table now. We've survived that, but it's not to say that we couldn't put some buy limits down here for tomorrow. 109 for 100 pip bounce, 100 pip stop, 100 pip stop on this with a 200 pip take profit, and you'd be getting out. If you bought here, you're going to take profits here. So in this chatter zone, and this could happen tomorrow. So you want to take one of these scripts, modify it. I always like to save as first, because this way I can create the name, and if I have an idea for the scenario, I could put it in there, or I could write on there. Well, certainly if I write on here that I've got a 100 pip stop, and I've got a 200 pip take profit, and it lasts for 6 hours. That should work for now, and there's just a unit of 1, but actually this is going to be a 0.10, and let me just try to make this so I can visually grab it. And then, okay, so this is that, and then now that I have the name, I can look at the name above, and I can write to the name now. This is where you don't lose track of what you're doing. If you're going to rewrite all these to fit your personality of stop, what you're willing to risk. You could also change the size here. And ultimately, how long it's going to last is right here. This is 6 hours. Compile that, and it should jump up first on my list because it starts with a number. And let me just buy some euro on this demo here at the market because we pulled back to the previous top here. Can't buy too much here because I think we're still going to go for a stop hunt. So here I'm running this one called Scalp. This is going to get in real deep for the washout. That's a 4-hour script. You can put it on the 4-hour chart, I guess. That makes sense, right? I mean, you want to be somewhat organized. Another trick that I got into here because when I got, if I thought I was over trading, which kind of tempting to jump in on what looked to be good setups during the Asian session. Well, they are for like 3 and 5 pip moves, but you know, like any other market conditions, I had somebody saying that the euro was too hard to trade because there's too many heads of states that could open their mouth, and you know, it's interesting view because you know he's afraid the market's going to do something wild. Well, it is, you know. I mean, it's really anything could happen at any moment. Of course, your exposure, every moment that you're in the market, it's like being in a relationship with a sociopathic, good-looking woman. You know, it's a lot of fun, but you might end up with a knife in your back. You know, so you always be really careful. And here, if you go into the MQL4 folder and you open that up, you're able to, which I didn't think was possible, is create your own underneath scripts. I can create a tree branch in here by clicking right in the middle here. You can't click on these guys, but if you right mouse click on this, I can go down a new folder, and that's how I created this B. Right, and you create a new folder, and this way you can organize whether you're going to trade drops, or you're going to trade scalps. This way you can name this stuff. And here I'm trying to just go for a buy and sell. I do have a directory, or that's what I call them, old school. Here, let me just drop this 100 I wrote. 100 pips stop. This will be the FOMC orders. And just like down here, right? Who's not buying that retest for a 2, right? Could they take it down there on the news? Yeah, why not? If they raise interest rates, well, you just go right through the floor, right? You go on the weekly, right? So if you're putting orders, and if you're going to do a Fibonacci projection, so you take this swing high, right, and I just don't get the fib. I mean, it's too hard to manipulate, but I always do it on close. So for me, it would be like I don't know, pick a swing low right here. So here's your 618 extension. So you could put orders down here, I suppose. I don't know on the monthly that even. Here, let's look at the monthly fib. Maybe that'll work better. You know, I always fuss and fight with this fib thing because I guess I'm supposed to go for this swing low, right? But I'm going to do it on close because it's easier, right? Well, there you go, 618. So here's the fib, the 618. I see it works pretty good on the. Of course, you can set it and forget it here, right? Now, I didn't do it off of the wick. A lot of people come up here and they're going to do this, right? The problem I have with that is it's kind of like, well, you could say, look, but it fits better here. Yeah, but really, I mean, there's a lot of pips on that. Of course, it's the monthly. That's why just the fib thing is just so overrated. But if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it here. Because if I do it here, I get more hits, I think. Of course, a little move on here is a big move. But I get this hit here. And I got to buy this damn euro. They're just twisting my arm. Another reason why I'm going to buy the euro is just on this 15-minute chart. See how this black, all these big black, when it's choppy like this, and this is what's been going on the daily, I notice is a lot of accumulation wicks There's 1, 2, 3, 4 big wicks here, but we keep ending up in a hammer. So I'm sure by 8:30, maybe we can make another run. This is the 15-minute, and here's the trend line to break on the upside. But you know, it's really piling up here. And if you're going to draw on you could draw one here at trend line, and you could sink one here to here. So you have an envelope between the wicks and the close, and you got this confluence here. It seems to be one of the. You can have these envelopes. You can build, and you're queuing up these. Every time you see one of these little baby things, this is your doji or your spinning top or your delightful ballerina. And you can just do that. And plus you got this painful triangle that's been forming. This just brutal. Something's got to give. But for tonight, I'm thinking, try to make a few pips on the upside here. I definitely think we could poke through here by the time this thing comes out with the FOMC, and they're going to announce the interest rates. Something's got to give on this euro because we're in too tight of a range on the weeklies here. And then here's the fib on the monthly fib. We could come back to this where the bottom dropped out. I go to the weekly, see if it can get a place to queue this up. Yeah, this Fibonacci thing, I don't know. It's tough to negotiate here. Let's go for this. I can find some place to hang it. So I guess we hang it here, right? And we're gonna hang it off this treetop here, and then we're just gonna drag that down till we see fit of some important swing low, which looks like this guy here, right? And see, that becomes the pivot down here. So I'm not treating it, the Fibonacci, as a on the highs and lows. I'm treating it as a pivot, and it seems to work pretty good there, right? I mean, you get this 618 here with the triple bottom, right? So that's the fib on the weekly. Now that's set and forget it trade. Of course, if you're on the 4 hour, you know, you gotta. But I'm setting it on close because I honestly think that, and I wouldn't lie to you, that everybody's doing it wrong. I mean, you know, oh yeah, so you're the one that knows that. Yeah, because I thought about it. Yeah. It wasn't. I'm not that bright. I just thought about it. I said, "Well, wait a minute. Would I put my fib on the edge of this, or would I put it on this?" And this is more conservative. This looks more dramatic. So if you did fib this, let me fib this puppy. This. Let's see if I can get at the fib here. But yeah, fibbing off of the close. You know, I'm all over that. So. Because it's quick and dirty, right? Here you go. You find this. Let's get this peak right. So you got that right. Oh, there you go. See, look how it lines up. Plus, if I was to do it off, so let me do it off this wick. But let me do it wrong, and then I'll do it right. What I think's wrong, right? So, right, the way they do it typically is they hang it off these guys, right? Wick to wick. And you can make the argument, look, came back to there, but you know, the decision is, how are you going to use that number? Right? So we got hits on that, like that. Come back to here. But I'm doing it foundationally, saying I'm gonna do it only off of close. So if I do close, right, because I'm looking to, I don't know if it's gonna let me do that. Gonna run out of time there. But yeah, if I'm doing it off of this swing low to this, I know what it means to me for the entry. That I'm going to enter on the clock here at the 38.2. Not on the wick. You can still have an order here, right? Look at, but that fib's easier to use like this, don't you think? On close?